Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh. She's joining us live right now. Marianne, let's talk about the future. The sentencing comes 4 days before the Republican convention, and now he is a convicted felon who is essentially, he even said today that the voters will make the decision on it. The real verdict is on November 5th. What's reaction? Read the tea leaves for us tonight, please.
Well, we actually have a poll, Ed. Last week, ABC released a poll stating that the problem Trump would have if he were found guilty of a felony would be with Trump voters. 20% of Trump voters said they would reconsider their vote if he were found guilty of a felony. 16% of those said they would think about it. 4% of those said, however, they would change their vote. They would not vote for him. And in what is expected to be a close race, 4% is the ball game. Now, I think we're going to see pretty quickly what this means in terms of the campaign itself. Maria said what Trump said this afternoon, he said this morning, he said every day, and he's been saying the same thing since the 2020 election. It was rigged. It's against me. But at the end of June, June 27th, is the first debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Then 2 weeks from then, July 11th, is the sentencing. Then 4 days after that is the Republican convention, where Donald Trump would officially be nominated to be the banner for the Republican Party. So we're going to see pretty quickly how this all affects the campaign. One last point, Joe Biden and his team have really changed their strategy. They've tried to stay above it and away from it. Biden now is expected to address it directly himself, and you've seen the campaign really ramp up more in talking about this, because yesterday was the perfect example. Trump all day long, wall to wall on cable, but you didn't see Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the rally in Philadelphia with black voters. And that's very reminiscent of 2016. So they've been pretty much locked out of the coverage all these weeks during the trial. And you now got to see that they're going to really compete with each other to make sure everybody gets the attention they need and define the debate and the campaign on their own terms.
Marianne, all of those dates that you just mentioned, they're not right around the corner. And you know how news cycles go, and you know how this whole movie ends, right? Do you think that what happened today, this historic guilt, these guilty verdicts, do you think that they're going to carry on all the way through there? People are going to remember that that poll was taken before today.
So, and we talked about this last week on OTR. Yep. Until we see the effects of this now actually happening, we'll see if the poll is correct. But I do think when you take this conviction, you take abortion rights, you take the fact that democracy is on the ballot, it all fits together. And I expect to hear Joe Biden say, for the first time in the history of the United States of America, a former president was convicted of a felony. We cannot have a convicted felon be the president of the United States because of what that would say about the United States of America and our presidency, our democracy, and democracy around the world. So I think you're going to see all of those things come together. But as we've said before, it'll be abortion that is the rocket fuel of this election.
Yes or no, Marianne? Did the presidential race change today?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
But it's still going to be close. And for all the reasons we've always talked about. But Donald Trump, I think, was very surprised that this happened.
Marianne Marsh, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Marianne.